Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Truth Hurts Show. I'm Andrew, the Love Doctor, who specializes in catching people creeping, lying, and cheating in relationships. Today, we're going to have the discussion: who's more important in a relationship, the man, the woman, or the child? Now, my point of view is this: a man being the foremost importance was never an issue before women became single mothers, because you had to be married before you had children. Therefore, it was just the two individuals. When women started doing the opposite of the traditional marriage, getting locked up by booty calls, threesomes, that's when it became an issue. However, even though they were doing things differently, they still want to live the traditional lifestyle and receive all the respect that comes with a married woman. That's impossible. Since it's impossible for single mothers to acquire the same admiration as married mothers, women with children want to change the tradition and make their children more important than the husband, life partner. This is one of the reasons why relationships don't last, because of women's incorrect philosophy. Adults raise children. Children don't raise adults. If the child is more important than the father figure, then how effective is the man as a role model? This is the reason why men don't date single mothers. Now, may I have a point of view?
Yeah, sometimes a man doesn't want to step up when you tell him that you're pregnant, okay? So that's why you have a lot of single mothers.
You know, women always want to blame the men.
Mm,
But you'll always pick men that ain't worth shit.
no,
No.
no, that's not true, okay? Because sometimes the man that you're looking at or what he's portraying, you think he's a good person. You don't find out until later on.
Oh, come on. That ain't gonna fly with me.
That is true.
That ain't gonna fly with me, but go ahead.
I have an associate. I haven't seen her in quite a few years, but she was married for 20 years, and I saw at that time was her boyfriend. He later went on to become her husband. But after the divorce was finalized, I said to her, I was 15 when you met him. I said, I saw in him the very first time that I laid eyes on him what it took you 20 years to see. I said, sometimes women create their own mirage as it relates to men.
Boom!
What you need to know is right there in front of you, but you don't want to acknowledge it, so what you do is you restructure things.
Andrew, I have a comment.
Let's go.
I agree with him because of the fact that a lot of times guys put on airs and they pretend to have a different personality profile just to capture a woman's attention.
Well,
just to
why
date
do
her.
we lie? Why do men lie?
They lie to get what they want.
And what
because
do
they
we
know
want?
if They want to get in the pants, and they know if they were going to be their true selves, they wouldn't get that.
If I say I want to sleep with you and that's it, are you going to sleep with me?
No,
All right then. But if I say I'll buy you dinner, I want to be with you, or will you sleep with me?
still not.
You're right.
We have to wait.
You know why she said what she said? Because she's a real lady. She's a bona fide woman.
Well,
Thank you.
you know what? You're talking about morals, and that don't exist in today's world
That's the
anymore.
problem.
I don't want to say they don't exist. What I will say to you is that the supply is not abundant.
Right.
If you got women twerking, that's not marriage material. If you got a man with his pants below his ass, that's not marriage material.
You better make sure you have.
If you got a man that got 3 and 4 baby mamas, that's not marriage material. If you have a woman that has 6 kids with 5 different men, that's not marriage material. But those same ones will turn around and say, my children is more important than you.
You know what I would say to that? When you change partners as much as somebody with good hygiene habits changes underwear, you got a problem.
Today, when you're dating, you don't ask a woman if you have a child. You say, how big is your tribe? Because it's always 2 or more. If you don't believe me, when you leave this studio to go home, I want you to watch every woman you see with kids.
On Fulton Street?
Anywhere.
I call that Brooklyn Zoo.
All right then. So I'm not lying. Now people get mad thinking I'm making this shit up, but this shit is very much real. Now, reason why I bring up that children is more important than the man is because men almost always is taking care of another woman's child. Today, almost always, a man is taking care of another woman's child. And he tries to step up and be the father figure, but he don't get the respect he should be getting. For instance, if I'm placing a roof over your head and I'm putting food in your stomach and I'm paying the finances and your kid get out of line and I decide to discipline that child, don't be telling me don't hit my child. A father figure does exactly what a father's supposed to do. Disciplining comes with raising a child, whether it's yours or not.
I'd like to take a moment to comment on that.
Oh.
That's very true, but we are in the same age group. I'm 54 years of age. You're 55. I'll be 55 years old, God willing, the 8th of October.
He's lying. I'm 34, but
Actually, cosmetics are great. But I wanted to say that unlike when we were kids, there was something that we had called constructive fear. And the United States government has played an integral part in disrupting that, because when a child can be taught in a public school setting, if your parents hit you, you have the constitutional right to have them arrested. Spiritually, you castrated authority in the home.
true story. Second book. I went and cooked something, and there was no fucking forks in the house. Couldn't find one. So I said, let me go to this girl room. I opened the door. The whole room. Nothing but dishes and plates and cups and saucers and spoons and forks and knives. So I called the mother and said, this is unacceptable in this household. I'm not tolerating it. Have her clean that shit. The mother told her. Then the girl stopped talking to me. I don't give a shit. You don't have to like me, but you're going to respect me. I wake up 2 o'clock in the morning to take a whiz. I have to pass her room to get to the bathroom. On the door is 2 notes with different sayings. If you're not retarded, read this. Don't enter my room. I wiped my eyes because I thought that I was still sleepwalking. I just thought, but no, there's 2 notes saying that shit. So I woke the mother up, told her what was going on. She more mad than me because I woke her out of her sleep. I don't give a fuck. Wake the hell up. Now, I would have been wrong if I had hit that child. So now it's to the mother to hit that child. The mother gets mad, goes there, and screams her head off. Not even screams her head off. Just screams to shut me up. I said, that's it? No ass whooping? No slap? No nothing? All right, I got this. So, I wait for the girl to go to school. I took down the door. I took out the TV that I bought and left it with an empty room. Now the mother, oh, that's my daughter's room. You have no right to take it out the door. This is my fucking house. I ain't gonna be punked by no 16-year-old. She's not paying the bills, I am. Now, she gets mad and calls the child father. What the fuck you calling him for? The deadbeat. He ain't paying no bills. I'm talking to you. He ain't paying no bills. He ain't taking care of her. Any trouble, I'm the one that's feeding them and everything. Now, do you think it's right that that mother superseded my authority?
No.
Don't you think that as a mother, she should have disciplined her child to respect me? But that's not what goes on today.
I have a comment. The initial problem started with the mother not disciplining the child before they got to be a teenager.
BAM!
They should have never been putting dishes in the bedroom, silverware in the bedroom. Everything should have went back to the kitchen and been washed, and it should have been an empty sink at the end of every night. There never should have been the whole kitchen supply in the bedroom in the first place. The incident should have never happened.
You know what the father had told me? What the fuck you doing in her room? What you doing in her room? You trying to tell me you ain't want? That's not the point. I go anywhere in this house that I want to. But you are right. But the thing is, today, mothers don't know how to be a mother. So they try to be a friend. And that's where they fuck up.
Your parents are not your friends. They are not your friends.
Why not?
Because your parent is an authority figure. Their role is to navigate you through life. However, they're not parallel to you in the sense that a peer is. They're not. Because if you have a child in which you have a friendship with them, that's going to disrupt the sanctity of the familyhood. Unfortunately, in the time that we're passing through, you have a lot of people that are competing with their kids with everything from fashion to attitude. And this is the reason why you have what you have out here in the street.
All right, then. Now here's the next question.
Hold on.
Oh.
I want to say something on that because I disagree with that a lot. This is my mother sitting next to me.
Hi, Mom.
And I was raised in a single parent household. I never knew my father, never grew up with my father. Now, my mother had the strong hand and she had the soft hand. When it came time to give me the strong hand, she gave me the strong hand. When it came time to show me the softer side, she showed me the softer side. Me and my mother was like sister and brother. And everybody said, oh, y'all look like twins. Y'all like, sister and brother. She was my friend and she was my mother. I know when I was out of line. I know what to do and what not to do. So I think it's a fine line that you can walk. Mm-hmm. And you got to have an understanding. I understood this was my mother. I needed to respect her and follow her wishes to what she needed me to do. If I was doing something outside of that, I could always come and talk to my mother. And I think that's the problem that parents have with their kids, because their kids are afraid to come talk to them about anything. I could talk to my mother about anything. If I just had sex with a woman, I could always go in the next room and talk to my mother. I'm like, yo, it's not that good, Mom.
Yeah, I never did.
And then she would say, oh, well, son, it is what it is. But you got to have that understanding. I have a daughter, and my daughter, she's 6. She's about to be 7.
Well raised, I've been watching.
Right. Her mother's a little different, you know what I'm saying, and how we raise, so sometimes we argue. But I always tell my daughter, no matter what, you can come to daddy and talk to daddy about anything without being judged. Not to say I'm going to be on your side, you're going to be disciplined when you need to be disciplined, but don't be afraid to talk to me. And that's the problem with a lot of kids. They're afraid to talk to their parents because, number one, as soon as you say something, they feel your parents is going to just jump on them and just be out of control. You got to have that relationship. You can be a parent and you can still be a friend to your child, because I'm living proof that it can happen. And I can come talk to my mother about anything. She may not agree with me, and she'll tell me, I don't agree with what you're doing.
That's why I like her. She do the
Right?
same thing with
She'll
me.
tell you, I don't agree with what you're doing, but she'll give me a blessing. I stand behind you. So I know. So parents need to have that understanding with their children. But one thing when you're coming into a household that's been there for a while, and a person is used to doing something, then it's hard for them to change. And they see you as like, oh, you coming to mess up what we have going on. So now they start to rebel. But at the same time, you as a man coming into that household, you need to sit down and you need to have that discussion. They understand, I'm not your biological parent, but understand that I'm here to help you if you need it. This is how things should go, and we should have an understanding. And I think that's where it goes left, because when you come in and you're just trying to take over, and the child is not used to that,
Right.
then they're gonna rebel. Of course, they're gonna be like, "Who's this dude? He's not my father. She's not my mother." So, and they used to doing a certain thing, then it's hard. So when you come in there with the rah 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 rah, of course they're gonna go left, and everything is not gonna come together. So it got to be an understanding on all parts. The mother, the child, everybody needs to sit down to that table and come to an understanding. Because if you don't have that understanding, then this right here.
Well, the understanding, I agree with everything you said. Now, this is the problem. You were raised right. Women today don't have no morals.
There's an absence of morals. There's an absence of morals, and subsequently, there is an absence of constructive fear. There is a such thing in life as constructive fear. I saw an incident that happened in a grocery store on 25th Street and 4th Avenue about 2 years ago, where I would put the kid at maybe 5. And his mother was standing next to him, and her girlfriend was standing there. And he accidentally stepped on her boot. And she said, "This little nigga stepped on my fucking boot." And so the kid looked, and he looked at me, and I moved my face in a different direction to give him the impression that I wasn't aware of what happened, because I didn't want to
spare his feelings.
I didn't want to reinforce the embarrassment. But I'm looking at this, and I'm saying to myself, she has absolutely no business with a child. No
I've been
business.
saying that. But the problem is, women feel, because I got a kid, I know what I'm doing. If you ain't got no kid, you're incapable of telling me what I'm doing. I'm not trying to put down women. I'm trying to get women to think why things are not working out in relationships. Go ahead.
Well, in my opinion, they start off by how a man makes them feel, and not how really what questions they should be asking to find out who they really are. Now, both sides of the fence is like this. One side plays a part when they first meet you, and the other one plays a part also. Some be on their best behavior, and some people just let it go.
So what you're saying, that ever since sex is easier to get, love is harder to find.
Yeah, it's like
Follow up to that. I think if people would stop playing games and wasting everybody else's time and just be their authentic self in the beginning, everybody would end up finding happiness quicker, because
Bam!
the lack of games would get everybody to the point that they want to get to at a quicker rate. So just be yourself. And as far as the friendship you share with your mother, that started at a certain age, that it took over and became a friendship and a son and mother
Which is
relationship.
rare. Which is
And
rare.
part of the problem in the new generation is that the friendship starts from when they're a baby, and the discipline doesn't even kick in until they're 6, and by that time it's too late.
Can I say something? Well, when it comes to a relationship with your parent or parents, my mom raised me. My father was dead. He left. He went to the Navy and everything like that. Situations happened. Just me and my mother. Me and my mother didn't get along. This and the third. Hey, she got rid of me, but it was the best thing she did. I became this, I went through my trials and tribulations, but in the background, she was there. No matter what happened, she was there, right? Now, I finally came into my own, and I basically seen what she did for me, and now me and my mom talk every day. I go see her and everything. She is, in a sense, like a best friend of mine, because we talk, like I said, we talk every single day. But what I realized is I could get an ass whooping at any time. And that's the crazy thing when you hear it at 40-some years old, when it's like, when you step out that boundary, and it's like, boy, I will smack the heck, and it's like, oh, okay, I got it.
Reality check.
Reality check. But what I'm going to get to is this. What I've noticed with the new age mothers, they're standing there and they're cursing at the kid, and the cursing is just regular talk. And I'm saying to myself, when I was younger, if I cursed, I got smacked.
Is anybody on my Facebook page where there was a mother that was in a Walmart and the kid was cussing and they refused to serve the woman? And the woman's like, "Well, what do you want me to do? If I touch my child, I'll go to jail." That child needed an ass whooping so
Man,
bad.
that's a
And
problem.
that's another. That's
Problem.
another thing why they're not afraid of the parents.
Yeah.
Because they
Right.
know the laws and they know all this information that if they touch them, then it's gonna be
Which is bullshit.